Good morning. Pretty much a break-even day yesterday. We were involved in two matches. This one, for example, where the insurance saved the day. And I think there was one more, wasn't there? Tromsø and Kilmarnock. Well, the reason I got involved with Tromsø and Kilmarnock, it was 2-2 in the first leg, and Tromsø were very good in coming back from behind against Kilmarnock. But on this occasion, yet again, it was the insurance which saved the day. Now, I'm sorry I couldn't get this one to you. This was a lay of the draw in the Paphos CSKA Sofia match. Again, as soon as I got the lay in at 1.11, I was going to pass it on to you. But the goal came, alas. So that's a real pity. AEK Athens, we were looking for that second goal from them, but that didn't come. There was one I missed out on, which I should have really got involved on. And that was, let's see if I can find it, Silkeborg, I think it was. Down here somewhere. Ghent and Silkeborg. If we're looking at the head-to-heads, 2-2 last time these two met. It was 1-2, and Ghent were ticking along nicely with the shots on and shots off. Really should have done a late lay of Silkeborg, because old Gandalf turned up with the goal. So a couple of break-evens and a small loss on a drip lay. And that was one which went astray, which was a pity. I should have followed that one up. AEK Athens, well, old Noah parking that arc. This is a huge rick from the market. 1.14, and this was an own goal as well. So a really good defensive display from the 600-year-old Noah and his menagerie of animals. Fantastic display there. So today we're returning to a mishmash of football from throughout Europe. And look at that for starters. Normally when you see some big boys on a Friday, it does suggest that the Champions League is on its way, but that might not be the case on this occasion. Do check that out. If you've got some big guns playing on a Friday, they might have Champions League football the next week. You can check that here. And indeed, look, we do have Champions League football on Tuesday. So just make sure you know or can identify the teams who are playing in the Champions League. Dinamo Zagreb, Karabag, Bodo Glimt, Red Star. So it's still in the early stages. Unlikely that the likes of Paris Saint-Germain will be entering into the equation just yet. But all of these sides are involved in second legs. So they're going to be affected by any football they play this weekend or indeed this Friday. But let's have a look at Friday's coupon. Man U and Fulham. Again, it's the first match of the season. I've done the previews for you, but I don't know what use they'll be. Of course, we've got absolutely nothing to work off. Do check out your new signings as well. You can check that out here at soccerway.com, going to today's coupon. You can check out one of the teams and you can check out their new signings or otherwise by clicking individually on a team, clicking on the transfers up here, transfers in and transfers out. So Matthias de Ligt and Mazraoui from Bayern Munich. That's interesting stuff. So that's recent. It wasn't in the coupon when I did the research earlier on in the week. Wan-Bissaka is off to West Ham. So he's back to his London roots, the ex-Crystal Palace player. Very good signing as well, I think, for West Ham under new management. Mason Greenwood to Marseille. Van der Beek to Girona, the offshoot of Manchester City, and Alvaro Fernandez to Benfica. So not a huge absentee list, but Amrabat off as well. He didn't really do much, did he? And Martin Gore, the singer from Depeche Mode, is off to Port Vale. So you can do the same with Fulham as well. Is there any outstanding new signing in an important position such as centre forward or striker, centre forward or goalkeeper? Let's have a look. This is a team who used to have George Best in the ranks. Bobby Moore. Wow. Emil Smith-Rowe. It's a very good signing from Arsenal, I think. That's the most. Ryan Sessegnon on a free. Lisa Stansfield, been around the world from Birmingham. Vinicius, is that Vinicius Junior's brother from Galatasaray? That could be an interesting fit. Out, but the only huge name out is Palhinha to Bayern Munich. So it's a very big Bayern Munich connection between these two in the transfer market. As you know, with new players embedding, we've only got one match to work off with Man U, and that was the match against Man City, the 1-1 in the Cup. Le Havre and PSG. PSG are shorn of their big world-class names. The ones that gets bums on seats. Kylian Mbappe off. We work our way back. And we can check out Paris Saint-Germain's team selection. Highly unlikely that Le Havre can land a blow. But it's not the PSG of old. You click on them individually. We can have a look at any signings in and out. I think old Moneybags PSG might be running out of cash. We're not willing to sign the marquee names anymore. Pacho in from Frankfurt. João Neves in from Benfica. And this could be the reason behind the Benfica loss a few days ago. João Neves to PSG, I think, was it Man City or Liverpool? Plundered a couple of players as well. And so at Paris Saint-Germain, they've plundered Gonçalo Ramos, who was a very good goal scorer. So he could be a good replacement for Kylian Mbappe. So all change, particularly up front for Paris Saint-Germain. Mbappe on a free. Oh, that's his brother. Kylian to Real Madrid on a free as well. So interesting match this evening. I can't really give you any pre-match research, but I can provide you the previews that have been provided here, UK.Soccerway, Soccer24, mixing a bit of ChatGPT, and you'll have an angle or two if you want it. But the Man United Fulham match, I didn't do that. We've got what I've just mentioned. So it'll be an interesting match to find out. 2 1-1s yesterday in the Primera Liga. Start off the campaign. 1.41 favourite Atletico Bilbao would be disappointed not to get a result. Only 3 away wins for Alaves last season. They might be struggling on the road. Las Palmas and Sevilla. Las Palmas did all of their good work last season in staving off relegation at home. Sevilla are I don't know what's gone wrong with Sevilla. One of those sides have just suddenly fallen off the map. Used to be a top 5 side. Only 1 win away against the top 15 for Sevilla last season. A real struggle, as is the selling of El Nesri to Fenerbahce. He was pretty much their goal scorer last season for Sevilla. So some fascinating matches today, but it's got to be a watching brief. I think you've learnt your lesson, have you not, from Belgium's opening season? A couple of 0-0s there. SPL's opening matches, a couple of 0-0s there. Spanish La Liga's opening matches, a couple of 1-1 draws there. So it's all up in the air at the moment. It's got to be a watching brief. We'll learn a lot, certainly, today, if these new signings have embedded, whether Paris Saint-Germain can solve that centre-forward thing. And I think with Gonçalo Ramos, they may have done. He really struck for Benfica last season. And watch out, Benfica could be the new selling side, couldn't they? So put the research into that context. New players. Fortuna Sittard and Elmere, 10th v 13th from last season. That will just give you a gauge. Where were they last season? Were they top? Well, not quite. Mid-table mediocrity. As I say, I'll describe these as Sunday teams. These are the kind of teams you tend to see on a Sunday. Mid-table mediocrity, not really attracting the viewing figures. Union Saint-Gilloise, post-Champions League for them. Playing Charleroi. Played two newly promoted teams in the first 2 matches, 0-0 and a 3-1 home win. And then a 4-3 away loss against Westerlo. I think the Champions League is messing with Union Saint-Gilloise early season. They need to start bouncing back, otherwise title hopes will be gone this early on, dropping points so early after 3 matches. Porto are out and about against Santa Clara. Both sides won their openers. 1-4 away win against Estoril for Santa Clara. 3-0 home win against Gil Vicente for Porto. Now, given Benfica's woes, Sporting Lisbon and Porto will be licking their lips. Benfica have sold all of their stars, haven't they? Pretty much to Liverpool and to Paris Saint-Germain. So Porto, put that into context, you'd be expecting a positive response from Porto today. Lyngby against Midtjylland, you'd be favouring Midtjylland here. Soccer Stats was down as I did the research. 2-0 2 home defeats for Lyngby against Copenhagen and Brøndby. Those are two of the big guns. And I would lump Midtjylland in with those two. So we've got a gauge already. We should expect a similar scoreline for Midtjylland today. 2-1-1 draws away. Clear pattern for Lyngby, who've yet to score that second goal. So they could be vulnerable if scoring first, a bit like the Kilmarnock match yesterday. But as I showed you yesterday, the importance of insurance. Don't dismiss insurance. It saved you bacon twice yesterday. Could be the similar story today if Lyngby score first. Midtjylland won the 2 home matches, but have 2 score draws away against Nordland and AGF Aarhus. I think that, as I say, that 2-0 home defeats against Copenhagen and Brøndby for Lyngby is what we would expect of Midtjylland at their best. Coventry and Oxford, 1.65 for Coventry. Oxford newly promoted. That's the only important news you need. They beat Norwich 2-0 at home, which is superb stuff. This is their first away match in the English Championship. So let's see how they cope. Is this where they start to sink? Coventry were a top 10 team last season as well, and they lost their opener against Stoke, so already on the back foot, Coventry. Konyaspor and Galatasaray, 1.58 for Gala. They scored 3 goals in the 2 head-to-heads against Konyaspor. Konyaspor won 2-3 away against Kasimpasa in their opener. Galatasaray beat Hatayspor 2-1 in theirs. Galatasaray are involved in the Champions League, but not until the 21st of August. So that is not an excuse for an underperformance today. Let's have a walk through the other coupon because it's a busy day today. It is my day off. I was a bit jaded last night, very tired indeed. So I want to take a day off, but I also want to get involved with the football because it is very interesting indeed. Even Austrian Bundesliga 2 got some familiar names: Liefering, Reed, Admira, Wacker. But liquidity is the issue there. But go on the watch list at any rate. And this is just an alphabetical look at today's matches. You know all about Union Saint-Gilloise. Must start winning. Already dropping points after 3 matches. Not the form of champions. Chinese Super League. Well, I'll stick that on the radar. 3 out of 3 odds-on favourites at home. Usual names: Beijing, Guan, and Wuhan 3 Towns, Tianjin Jinmen Tigers. Interesting stuff. Dinamo Zagreb out and about against Sibenek. Should be reliable at home. Dinamo Zagreb. Work our way down. Danish Super League, we know all about Midtjylland, don't we? Expectation that Lyngby will struggle today and struggle to score that second goal. Danish First Division might be worth a look. It is a goals division for me. I really like OB Odense. They light up in-play stats and they tend to turn up with a goal or 2. So keep an eye out on them, particularly if they haven't scored in the first half. I just like what I'm seeing from them. Take away the cup match, and they are keeping clean sheets and scoring in the last 3 division matches. Very good side, OB Odense. One of those to stick with this season. The others, well, odds-on favourites. I like Fredericia as well. They've produced a trade or 2 in their time. So well worth your attention at 6 o'clock. English Championship, Coventry, as we know, against Oxford, newly promoted. So big question mark about Oxford United. Big question mark. Premier League 2 will be a league where I think you should be focusing on goals, over 2.5 goals. It's just well known for it. have a look at previous matches. Make sure these two sides are over 2.5 goal sides. And as you can see here, 2-1, 3-1, 2-1, 2-4, 2-3, 6-2. Both teams to score as well. Got a similar story here. 4 goals, 8 goals, 9 goals. No goals there. 4 goals there. So that's the exception, not the rule, isn't it? Since April. Wow. So if they can keep these patterns up, you are likely to see over 2.5 goals, which suggests if there's no goals after 15 or 20 minutes, you might want to start backing over 2.5 goals at enhanced odds. I'm going to try and work on a strategy for over 2.5 goals this season. But as you know, I'm a reactive trader. I react to what's going on in play. I don't try to preempt or expect, because if you do that, you'll be all over the shop. We expected Atletico Bilbao to beat Getafe yesterday, but that ended 1-1. We expected goals in the opening 2 matches of the SPL. Those finished 0-0. We expected goals when the big guns played newly promoted sides in Belgium. Those ended 0-0. So that's what I'm talking about. Look and wait to see what's happening in play. But I'll try to suss this over 2.5 goal out for you. I've had discussions with Paul Dunwoody. He's given us some excellent ideas, which I'll try to enhance in the live chat webinar, which I think will start tomorrow. The Professional Development League as well also has a reputation for goals. So do check that one out. But do check the teams first. Don't just assume it's going to be over 2.5 goals. Make sure they have that record, which you can find in H2H, head-to-head. Make sure you've got a general 2-goal pattern. These are all friendlies, which is a pity. So it's the start of a new season there as well. Into Turku against SJK. I'm not going to research. It's got a touch of derby status about it. Given the league positions of these two, I think they're up near the top. So it's a top 3 clash already, I think, this season. Oh, into Turku. Sorry, I got it mixed up with Ilves. We were involved in Europe yesterday. Into Turku, 7th against 3rd. It's too tough to call, too tough to research. 2.4 the favourite. I'm not going to bother researching, but it'll be on the radar today. French Ligue 2, very welcome to see French Ligue 2 back. And as you know, what we need to do is to try to suss out who are the newly promoted and the newly relegated in the French Ligue 2 last season. So the best way to do this for me, French Ligue 2, go to the 2023-2024 season and just compare and contrast. So we'll just put this down so we can compare Ajaccio and Rodez. Get the full list of teams up. And don't forget to know you're newly promoted into French Ligue 1 as well. Ajaccio, played last season. Rodez, we're there as well. Top 4 Rodez. So they'll be expecting Amiens and Red Star. Let's have a look. Amiens, Red Star could be newly promoted. So that's another one to target. They could be vulnerable, Red Star, this season. Clermont and Pau. Clermont, look, I think newly relegated, aren't they, from French Ligue 1? Another quick way of doing this is to look at the head-to-heads from last season. If it says LO, it means it's League 1. You've got to go past the friendlies. There we go. Ligue 1, Clermont. Ligue 2 for Pau. So we've got a newly promoted side, newly relegated side in Clermont, and their favourite today. So that should give you an idea who to potentially focus on in that particular match. Dunkirk and Nancy. The Dunkirk, 16th, they did struggle, didn't they, last season. And Nancy, 14th as well. So this could be a relegation dogfight this early. Grenoble and Laval. Laval are there. Grenoble are there. Guingamp and Estactois. Estactois are linked in with Manchester City. So don't be surprised if you see an above expectation performance today or this season. They are newly relegated, I believe, as well, Estactois. Let me just confirm that. We're going to H2H and no, Estactois were in Ligue 2 last season. So there we go. But watch out, they are linked in with Manchester City, as is Girona. We might see an overperformance from Troyes. So both Girona and Estac Troyes are sides that Manchester City plunder players from. So French Ligue 2, great to have that back. Not going to be researched this season, but we are going to be following all of these secondary leagues. French Ligue 2, German Bundesliga 2, which is an excellent Saturday league. It pretty much starts your day off on a Saturday. And Italian Serie B. It's all good stuff. German DVF Pokal, Ulm, newly promoted to the German Bundesliga 2. I've got their work cut out today. Bundesliga 3 into Bundesliga 2, playing the might of Bayern Munich. Now, I suspect Bayern will take this seriously. Hoff as well. Like to get some goals under the belts. Mainz, Bundesliga side. St. Pauli, newly promoted in the Bundesliga. Now, if I was the St. Pauli manager, I'd get the bleep out of this competition. Try to stay up in the spotlight in the Bundesliga. So, difficult to weigh up St. Pauli, but all of these, and it tends to be the case in European Cup matches, that the big guns tend to be away. I don't know if these are first or second legs. That's going to be important as well. I think it's just a one-off cup match. But big guns are out, well worthy of your attention, just to see what kind of a mood this lot are in, particularly the Hoff, famous for being totally and utterly unreadable, the mighty Hoff. Irish FAI Cup is worthy of your attention today as well. Lots of Premier League and First Division sides in action. You've got the old Pike Rovers, they're playing Treaty United. Like, it's going to be great with the old Pikes. Like, great stuff there now. Wilton United are away at Drogs. Going to be a good day for them. Cork and Derry, this is a Premier League. Derry against First Division Cork, top of the First Division as well. So market looks about right, if Derry are up for it. I think it's worthy of your attention again, as is Italian Serie B, Brescia and Palermo. Again, we can just check this way. I think this is the quickest route, isn't it, to check whether these two sides were in Italian Serie B last season. Got to get past CF, Serie B for Brescia, Serie B for Palermo. So no newly promoted side, no newly relegated here. And it looks like a tough opening fixture. In-play stats are going to be vital, of course, in opening days of the season as well. Working our way down, Eerste Divisie. As I say, if you fancy a bit of fun, over 2.5 goals and both teams to score accumulator. This, like the Professional Development League, etc., very good for over 2.5 goals. And I'll try to work out a strategy. Maybe it's a bet and go strategy where you are using a specific staking plan, as we did last season. I'll introduce you to that in the live chat webinars. We tended to lay the draw second half using lay 1 to 4 staking plan, which was quite successful last season. Because we didn't get them all right, we've got the vast majority right. Vitesse Arnhem will be the absolute standout here. What on earth are they doing in the Eerste Divisie? Another side like Sevilla falling off the radar. Sampdoria suddenly falling off the radar. Vitesse Arnhem. Then they're up there. They should be up there with Ajax, PSV, Twente, et al., Feyenoord. But no, they're back in Serie B. Are they going to dominate the league? We will find out. They're not priced to, that's for sure today. But over 2.5 goals, both teams to score. You'll have to do that with the bookies, I'm afraid. Bit of fun on a Friday. Very good payout if it comes in. You might want to do it in doubles and trebles and quadruples as well, so you can pick up a bit of a return if 1 or 2 of the fixtures let you down. Extra class are worth following as well. The market's suggesting research is obsolete here. I like the First Division, but I do like Arca Gdynia. They are a side I like to follow, Arca Gdynia. They caught my eye last season. They did provide a couple of good trading opportunities as well, coming from behind, and they were vying for the title at one stage. Gil Vicente, AVS, I think, newly promoted. And again, we can check that out. This is, I think, the quickest route now, isn't it? Get beyond these friendlies. La Liga Portugal, that's the top flight. and La Liga Portugal, AVS. I don't remember them from last season. There we go, LP2. So that must have been the playoffs. Indeed, newly promoted AVS. So they are away from home in their opener. Could struggle. Again, another one. This is why I'm thinking of not taking Friday off. It's I like a high volume of matches because then you've got the quality versus quantity. You can pick stronger trades. Spanish La Liga 2, well worthy of our attention again. Just make sure you know if they're newly promoted or not by this route here. Show all matches. La Liga, probably going to be LL2, La Liga 2 for Zaragoza, newly promoted Zaragoza. Oh, sorry. No, it's not newly promoted. Cadiz, newly relegated. Are they going to sink or swim? You'd expect newly relegated to enjoy the lower tier. Super Etna will just stick it on the watch list. It's going on the back burner now that we've got elite football kicking off. Yverdon Sport, familiar name from the Super League. So again, Swiss Cup, worthy of our attention. Do make sure that you know who's playing in the Champions League next week and when they're playing this week. Pendikspor had a really good shot at the title last season. So they will be a little disappointed to be remaining in the Turkish One League. Galatasaray, both of these two sides won their openers, as you know, in the research. And I think we're getting to the end now. Friendlies I will ignore, with the vast majority of the European League coming back. It's only the German Bundesliga 2. Bundesliga we're waiting on. I don't think that arrives tomorrow. It might be another week before the Germans arrive. Vorsprung durch Technik, as they say. Yeah, German leagues. I think it's a German Cup on the 17th. So it'll be next week you start seeing the Bundesliga. Maybe on a Friday kicking off, but certainly on the Saturday. There we go. As I said, Borussia Mönchengladbach against Bayer Leverkusen, who in friendlies have been scoring the usual 2+ goals. That's what we'll expect of Bayer Leverkusen each match. A steady string of over 2.5 goal, over 3.5 goal or more. They just tend to keep scoring in friendlies even as well. So we look out for this with interest. Going to be a very strong bias towards 2+ goals for Leverkusen. Could open the door up for you if you wanted an Asian handicap play. It's not a tradable market, but it gives the opponents kind of a 2-goal head start or something. You might seek some value that way. So as you can tell, it's an excellent coupon today. It could take me out of my day off itis, but don't expect coverage from me. But if I'm up and about, I'll certainly be keen to try to profit from some of these. Yes, might be a little frustrating having to wait and sit and see how the new teams emerge. Any strengths, any weaknesses, particularly Paris Saint-Germain. It's going to be very important to see whether Gonçalves Ramos dominates the match. And be interesting to see old shit emoji Benfica. How are they going to cope with the vast majority of their quality players being sold off to the big boys? Are they the new Ajax? Really big selling club. Have a great season. And what happens? Neves gets nicked for 60 mil. Gonçalves Ramos gets nicked for 65 mil. I think Man City took a couple of, not Man City, Liverpool as well. I thought. It looks like Paris Saint-Germain are the main culprits here. So it could be a new look Benfica. Might need to embed themselves. They've got Pavlidis, probably a striker, I would suggest. Best from Heidenheim, not the best, surely. And Rollheiser, really names we don't know. Leonardo from Santos, don't know much about them. But a very strong link to Brazil with that Portuguese language. So fascinating day today. I hope to see you up and about, but please don't expect to play from me. I really did put a lot in yesterday, despite the fact it was 2 break-evens and a £4 loss. Could have been a lot better had I followed my instinct and gone with the potential equaliser in that Silkeborg match to make it 2-2 as it was in the first leg. But have a great day today. If you've got any ideas for over and under 2.5 goals, do let me know. And before I leave, you might want to take a 30-day trial out on this website. I've mentioned it in the past. I'm not affiliated to it. It's just, it's free. So put football, and you've got a whole load of free ebooks and everything. This is where I'll be looking for potential additional strategies for you to share with you. Let's try football betting. So it's called Everand. You get a 30-day free trial. So make sure you join and then cash, and then don't follow up after the 30 days. Football betting systems, I've read most of these. You're looking at trading strategies or over 2.5 goals if we want to be really focused. It's something I'm keen to solve. And I think stats are a key element to it. Pre-match odds are a key element to it as well. Oh, this is all about goals. So maybe Betfair football strategies or something. Betfair football. So do have a read of this. It's something I came across. It had a lot of my old writing on it, which was downloaded. So betting, maybe football betting would be the main look. So have a look at this. It really is an excellent website. Lots and lots to look through. You will get the odd gem. So we can just find it. Over 2.5 goal strategies. Any other strategies as well, I'm open to. Rothschild's Guide to Football Handicap, and this is all American stuff. But if we can find something to do with Betfair, perhaps. Here we go, strategies of trading in Betfair. So I'll be working my way through these for you, making notes and trying to find some additional strategies that we can apply. I know one or two of you would like a bet and go, wouldn't you? Match odds accumulated, you can't do this anymore. You can't do an accumulator. Backing and laying used to be an absolute gold mine. Winning on Betfair for Dummies, this kind of thing I'll be reading through. So it's all available pretty much for free. Make sure you how to milk the betting exchanges, so I'll be reading that as well. So there's very good bets. Here we go. Over, under, goals accumulator, but you can't do that anymore. I don't think you can do the insurance anymore. And tennis trading as well. So plenty for me to read. Trading football on sports exchanges. So some of these can provide the odd gem. All I need is one idea which is workable, and I can share that with you. So this video is a bit long. Have a great day. And it is my day off, but I'm highly likely to be up and about, and it's going to cost me nothing extra to pass on any plays for you. But whether I'm up for the Man United match, 2 a.m. kickoff for me, I don't know. But it'd be fascinating to watch, particularly with these new signings. You can't take anything out of the Man City match because that was a final 1-1. Always going to be that way, wasn't it? Have a great day, and I'll see you for a fun-filled live chat webinar tomorrow.